Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandi, the Millennial Manager, and today, y'all, is a Motivation Monday episode / bonus email episode. Now, today's bonus or today's motivation is very simple, okay? You have heard me say it more than one time, but from the emails that I have gotten, some of y'all have forgotten, okay? And I'm about to say it right now. Fuck them people at that job. Do you hear me? I don't give a fuck what Brian is doing, what April is doing, what Susan is doing. I don't give a fuck what they are doing. You do not let these people rob you of your joy and your peace. Do you understand? I hope you are hearing me because I'm talking to you. And when I say this, I want you to say, fuck them people at that job. I want you to say it with me. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Fuck them people at that job. We are not going to allow this job to steal our joy, to steal our peace. We are not going to do that. You are struggling because of this job. It's time for you to take this situation into your own hands because right now you have passed the reins to somebody else. You are allowing this job to control your life so much so that it is affecting you and you cannot even enjoy your weekends. You cannot even enjoy when you are off work. You cannot have any peace. So say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Fuck them people at that job. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go into our bonus email episode. Now, our first email is coming from a lovely young lady who is a teacher. And it says, I recently came across your reels, and let me say you had me at I don't give a fuck. Period. Okay? Because y'all know I truly do not. I stopped scrolling real quick after that intro, but I'm emailing you because I have decided to quit my job, but not without a backup, of course. Glory. Hallelujah. Okay, ma'am. That's what I like. We don't quit our jobs without a backup. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. You do not quit without a backup. I'm a 6-year math teacher, but it's my first year at this charter school that I currently work at, and it is a unorganized mess. I apologize. Double work without any extra pay, unrealistic expectations, not leading by example, unclear lines of communication, an imaginary manager, unethical request. And I just want to jump in where she says imaginary or an imaginary manager. It says that she has a math coach who is from the pit of hell who thinks that she is a supervisor. And this woman is texting her on Saturdays and Sundays when she is outside of work. Let me tell you something before we continue. If you have anyone from your place of employment texting you outside of the business hour, you need to put your phone on home mode or D&D, okay? Thankfully, in 2024, we have that option. We can actually set contacts that we want to be able to come through. We want these phone calls to come through on the iPhone because that's what I have. You can set who you want to talk to when your phone is on D&D. You can have a work mode and that can have people from your company on it. But when you are at home, that is your personal time. Okay? So if she messages you one more time, sweet baby, okay? When you are not at work before you have quit this job, you need to tell her, I am unavailable. I will discuss this with you on Monday. Have a good weekend, just like that. Have a boundary with that, okay? Now, on to your question. Your question, because the email is about a resignation letter. It says, my question is, should I be honest with why I'm leaving or should I keep it cute? You need to keep it cute. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck anyway. Look at this work environment that you're describing to me in this email. You described it as an unorganized mess, unrealistic expectations. Your boss does not lead by example. You have an imaginary manager who has no idea what a work boundary is and decides to text you on the weekends. Unethical requests like this. Come on now, baby. Come on. That is a given. Do not give these people any of your energy because they're not going to do anything about it anyway. You go to them and tell them, yeah, I have all these problems. They're going to be like, okay. And who else would like this job? That's exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to fix anything. They're not going to correct any bad practices that are happening in the workplace. They're not going to do it. So what is the point? There is no point. You just want to get this kind of off your chest and you're hoping that they would take this constructive criticism and do something with it. But I assure you, dear heart, that you are not the first and you will not be the last. Do you hear me? Say yes. All right. On to our next email. This email says, good morning, and thank God that I ran into your page. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for watching and engaging. I have a question. I have been on my job for 17 years. I love what I do, but I am struggling and I do not make enough money. I am 59 years old and it's not a good time for me to pursue a new career. Can you address this for me, please? Yes. It is time for either you to, number one, have that conversation with your management team. I'm not sure because you did not list where you work and if you've had any opportunities where you could request a pay increase. I'm not sure about that. So that part is a little hazy on me. I'm a little hazy on that. I'm not really sure exactly what you do and if there have been some opportunities where maybe your job just has not given you significant pay increases, or if that has even happened at all. So that's a little part that I would like to know. Also, I know that can be very scary looking for a job at that particular age, and it could be a little daunting when you're applying for roles. However, don't let that fear keep you in that spot because your employer is probably banking on that. They know that you're of a certain age and they feel like they don't have to give you this pay increase or more opportunity for growth because they think you're about to retire. So you need to hit them with the Uno reverse card. Okay? No, I'm going to apply for some jobs. If there is a financial concern, which you did say that you are not making enough money, I'm going to email you. Okay? All right. So I'm going to email you and let you know that this episode does include your email, but I am going to work on your resume for you for free to help you get out of this spot. Okay? So I just want to tell you guys that when you are in a situation that your back is kind of against the wall, do not allow your current employer to bully you to stay in the situation. I'm not sure if that's what this is, but it very well could be. Okay. So if you are in a situation where your back is up against the wall, you're worried about your age, you're worried about finances, that's a perfect scenario for a poor employer because they know that you are desperate. So they're going to give you peanuts. They're not going to give you anything more than that. They're going to drop a little bit in your bucket and they know that you're not going anywhere because you're going to retire soon. But you cannot allow that fear to dictate how successful you're going to be and how much money you're going to bring in. And being that you are a certain age, that is a very real fear. So I just want to go back to that is a honest to God, real fear, and it could stop you from obtaining a higher pay or even a new position in a different career field. But what we're not going to do is let that fear dictate to us what we're going to do right now. Okay? We are looking at the facts. The fact is that you do not make enough money and we need to get you some. So I am going to work on your resume and then we're going to get you out of this situation. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. It is now time for the Patreon. If you have listened to this point and you want to hear more, definitely sign up for the Patreon so that you can hear the remaining portion of this episode. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all on the internet. Bye-bye.